Eddie Murphy turns 60 years old, and Godzilla and King Kong are back to battle, which they're probably like 60 years old. Also, Shaq paid for an engagement ring for a complete stranger. This, my friends, is the morning laugh.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Laugh. I'm Brian Kohatsu. I'm excited for today because it's another Morning Laugh morning. And without that, let's just continue on because there's so many people I want you to meet. First of all, we have joining us is Chris Wineland. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You look alive and ready to go, man.
I am dead inside. I am barely awake.
Oh, okay, we'll fix that. We'll fix that with the help of our own Mike James. Mike James is in the house. Mike,
hello,
how you doing?
everybody. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well this morning. I think we're all excited about today, aren't we?
I am so excited.
I'm just trying to get the show just go. See?
I like it.
So,
You did a good job. Just got my blood going.
which I'm taking a chance doing that so early in the morning. So many things could happen. I could pull a muscle. I could rip a vocal cord.
I was going to say you could pull something or rip something and use both those examples.
All right. And Josh, we don't know. Josh is MIA.
He's in the bathroom.
Oh, he's in the bathroom.
Yes.
Okay.
He will be back in a minute. He had to run to the bathroom.
So Josh is in the bathroom. He'll be back a little bit later here.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, too, if you'd like tickets to see us live in our studios, which is weird, send tickets to tickets at the Morning Laugh, Burbank, California. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, and maybe you could sit at Chris's house and watch him live while he does the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna get bleachers, and they can just be right in my living room.
Which
they can't use my couch, just the bleachers that I'm gonna set up.
as long as you have a little applause sign, that'll be nice. You know, applause and clapping, that'll be good. Before we even get started, I think let's talk about the elephant in the room. I've gained a lot of weight. No, what I'm saying is this. Chris, you have a brand new commercial out, and as far as I understand, that's a national ad.
It's a semi-national ad.
Semi-national? Okay, all right.
Semi-national is that every other state, or how does that work?
Yeah, I don't know. I made up the term semi-national, but I know it's at least in 3 states. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's been airing a lot in Florida, Arizona, and California. And I know that because I've been getting text messages from everybody I know in all 3 of those states.
Nice.
So.
And we're not constrained by anything. You can say who it's for. It's for OfferPad.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep.
OfferPad.
Yeah.
And it's not just you, your co-star. You've now, I don't want to do like one of those Hollywood gossip things, but your co-star, you've gotten very cozy with, I understand.
You could say we're in a relationship.
Oh, wow. I see where this is going. But of course, we're talking about your lovely wife.
Yeah. My wife and I are in this commercial together. Her and I both are actors. We both met as actors. So it's kind of cool a few years later. And we both have the same agent for acting. So it really worked out. Like, this was the first time we did an audition. Actually, we were just it was our day off. We're sitting down watching one of those old period piece movies, like try to think of what, the Pride and Prejudice type stuff. It was whatever.
I thought you were going to say like Ghostbusters or something.
Yeah. So then my agent calls and she's like, "Hey, this is last minute, but we got to get an audition in the next hour. And I recommend, they're looking for a husband and a wife." So I told them that you guys might want to just do it all together. So we were like, "Oh, that'd be fun." So we got up real quick, did this whole audition, and literally we just kind of didn't even care. We just threw caution to the wind and had a blast on it. We were just making jokes the whole time, like not taking it 100% seriously. They called us a couple weeks later and they said, "We loved your audition tape. We changed the script just for you." And we were like, "What?" So it turned out to be really cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I got to be honest with you though, Chris. I watched that a few times, and Micah kind of steals the whole show. I think
she does.
To be honest,
I forgot Chris was in it even for a moment.
That's the problem with working with her. She's just too good, and I can't do nothing with it. So
Chris, so this is how I found out about your commercial. This was a few mornings ago. I woke up, came downstairs, and my whole family went, "Dad, hold on, don't look at the TV." And so they rewound, and I'm thinking they're going to show me a news story. And they're like, "It's not news, it's a commercial." And I went, "Okay." And then they show it, and it's funny because I saw the commercial the day before, but for some reason I only looked at the left side of the screen when I was passing through the room, and I didn't even see you on screen. So when I watched it, I'm like, I've seen this commercial, and then bam, it cuts to the close-up of you, and I was like, oh my gosh, how did I miss? And then when Michael was on, I was like, oh my gosh, how did I miss this? So very cool.
Wow.
Very cool.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it was.
And now we'll ask the hard questions. How much money did you make? What are you spending it all on? Will you be making a sequel? What am I missing, Mike? When is the record coming out? You have I'm sure you have a record singing deal now with that.
Who has movie rights to your biography?
Yeah. Yeah. The answer is yes to everything. All of that. So,
I want to know something else, Chris. Matthew McConaughey has been reading you to bed. This is a note I've had since last week, and I'm very curious what's going on.
All right. I think you guys are getting to know a little too much about me right now. Yeah. So I had this.
That demands this. Go ahead.
Okay.
You have the spotlight.
I feel like I need a headline. Matthew McConaughey has been reading me to bed. He has been. So I don't know if you. So here's the deal. My wife and I have been so busy at our church doing Easter and everything, and so when we're getting ready for Easter, which turned out so well, but when we were getting ready, it's like we're not for a whole week. We're barely sleeping because we're trying to figure out the production and doing all that kind of stuff. So we're not sleeping. So this week it's like midnight. We're supposed to get up at like 4 or 5 in the morning. And I'm like, this is just ridiculous. We got to find a way to sleep. So Micah goes, well, I just saw this advertisement that Matthew McConaughey will read you to bed on this weird app called Calm. So I was like, all right, I mean, we need to go to sleep. Let's just try it. So we downloaded Calm. It's like $2 or $3 or something to get Matthew McConaughey. And so we're like, all right, fine, let's do it. So we play it, and it's like, I wish I could do can you do a Matthew McConaughey accent, Brian? You usually
take your shirt off first, Brian.
It's fairly weak. All right.
Yeah, so that's what I heard for like 39 minutes. And I can be honest, there was 2 things that I felt. One, I was like, wow, this is surprisingly calm. And 2, it was way too intimate. It was just too intimate because he has that very slow Texas voice, like, all right, today we're gonna talk about, like, it was very like that. And I was like, ooh. So like
I just want you to relax and go to sleep. And ooh, that's it. That right there. That's the way it is.
But I think if you pay extra, he actually puts your name in it. All right,
I think he
does. Chris, man, wiggle your toes a little bit, Chris. Feel those toes wiggling.
It was just, I was afraid, this is going to sound like such a Bible Belt statement, but I was afraid the whole app was going to be new agey. But like, he was talking about how he believes in God and Jesus before he read the story. Really? So I didn't know that about Matthew.
Oh, okay. So you actually heard him say that. It wasn't as you were drifting off going, no. Did I hear him say he believes in Jesus?
Yeah, no, he actually said it. And then he read this book called Wonder, and it was really good. And I just got to say, I kind of recommend it. Like, I just want you to
listen. I don't know if you've heard the good news, but as I start up my Lincoln Marquee, I just want you to drift off.
You know what's funny is, like, I remember a few years ago, this is several years ago, when I was probably Chris, you're what, 30?
Yeah, I'm 30. Exactly.
I was 30, and I had something similar. It was audio cassettes, but it was Andy Griffith going, all right, go to bed now. And that was it. And you went to bed. You turned off your lights. You went to sleep. You said, I don't want to hear no commotion in here.
That's weird, because I used to have this big reel-to-reel tape recorder I used to play as I went to sleep and say, go to sleep, my little chickadee. It was weird. It was W.C. Fields.
Yeah, go to sleep.
Yeah, that's it. Go to sleep.
That's kind of a cool concept, man. Is having McConaughey is perfect for that. Whoever came up with that, it's probably him. Like, I bet y'all can get people go sleep.
That sounded like Rick Roberts.
Yeah, it was perfect. I recommend it. It's like you get a free trial for 7 days. So I challenge you Listen to Matthew McConaughey in this book called Wonder.
You challenge us
and
to not fall asleep.
You're going to surprisingly like it.
I want.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what other celebrity you would want to tuck you in at night.
Yeah, I mean,
who would I want? I would want. I mean, just their voice, because Connie Selica is the first one that pops to my mind.
You know what would keep you up all night? If you want to stay up all night, you have the one where it's like Kevin Spacey talking to you, like, "Would you like to go to sleep now? Just relax." It's like, I don't know. Gary,
I think the one I would love, because I love his voice, would be Norm Macdonald all night reading a book.
Hey, Chris. Hey, shut your eyes for a second. I got a story for you. Yeah, you like stories? Yeah. So, Little Red Riding Hood, you know, little girl. Yeah, that's high. Yeah, I don't know why she always wears red. Anyway, yeah. 2 hours later, that's so much insomnia. The worst.
Rhonda wants to know if you can borrow Andy Griffin tape. Rhonda Corey would like that.
Andy Griffin,
Andy Griffin.
Andy Griffin, by the way, not a Griffin. Rhonda, thanks for watching and listening to the Andy Griffith tape. No, well, at least you're getting some sleep. That's good. Sleep is very important. And again, congratulations on your commercial. And for you and Micah, that's very cool that a couple would actually get. That's what I was surprised that they would actually book a couple. That's very cool that they do that.
Yeah. Well, because we had never been booked together, obviously. We've been booked separate for separate commercials, never together. And what was interesting, we were wondering if it was because of like COVID or something that they wanted to make sure that, you know.
Same unit.
I think if you sent in an audition tape that had both of you in there, they just like, oh, these guys already have this chemistry. They do a good job.
Yeah.
I'm sure that just sold them on it.
Yeah. And what was fun about it was we were filming for like eight or 9 hours. And so I would never be able to do this with another actor. But like anytime that they were, you know, they would say, cut, okay, we're going to reset. I could whisper to her and be like, okay, should I have said that differently? And then she, you know, her and I were kind of both helping build each other to make sure that we could get them exactly what they wanted. So it was it was such a huge, awesome thing. I would love to do it again.
I like, just so you guys know, you can watch, if you don't get that commercial in your area, you can actually go to Chris's Facebook page. You've got it on there and you can watch it. And what I like to do is I like to pretend that there's a whole different backstory between, you know, that couple. I don't want to say Chris and Mike, but you know, whatever your characters' names are. Yeah. I just like, she's obviously from a rich family and he's just like trying to hold on, and they met at college. And then, you know, oh, by the way, side note to all of this, you can see Chris's tattoo on his arm.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the commercial.
I was surprised that was part of it.
I was very
You know what I like to do with that commercial is I put it on a projector and project it onto the back wall in my yard, and the neighbors watch it with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
we make a whole thing of it each evening.
Mike likes to pretend he's at your barbecue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I project on there. I'm the neighbor on the other side of the wall.
You know, it was crazy. You guys don't have tattoos on your arm, right? Yeah, no.
No.
We talked about this. So, well,
did you wait a second? Did you just say you guys don't have tattoos on your arm yet?
No.
I think no.
I'm going to convince you.
I haven't gotten our tattoos yet.
The day's not over yet, Mike.
Well, there was a whole 30-minute discussion as to whether or not they should cover the tattoo, and their biggest issue was that that they didn't know if the tattoo artist would try to make money from seeing a tattoo on television. And they were like, do you think that your tattoo artist would do that? And I was like, I don't even know who he is. Like, I met him once. And I was like, I don't think so. I can't
imagine that even be a legal thing to do, you know, as far as, oh, that's my work, because that doesn't make sense.
You've actually given me a brilliant idea now. If I get a tattoo at all, it's going to be a QR code going to my, that way, if I'm ever on TV or anything else, it'll be a QR code. Like, oh, what's that on his arm? Oh, and then it would go to a.
that is a great idea. Actually.
You know what's going to happen is I can think it's a QR code going to something, my web page or something. It's going to end up going to the tattoo artist's page. That's what's going to happen. I haven't even done it. I've already been tricked.
Listen, according to Barb Thompson, tattoos are bad, and she's also my mom. So I'm sorry, Mom.
She for sure was like, I don't like them, Chris. When you got it the first time, you know what I thought. You've broken my heart.
That's true. I'm sorry.
I nailed that impression, I think.
You did. You nailed it.
Well, cool. So continued success with your commercial career.
Nice.
You and Micah both. And so it's cool. Speaking of couples, let's move on. Shaquille O'Neal recently intervened in a couple's relationship. I don't know if you guys saw that in the news. Shaq actually paid for somebody's engagement ring while he was just happened to be in a jewelry store.
Yeah,
that's
that was
pretty
a great
cool.
Segue.
Kazam.
Fantastic.
Kazam. That was the other segue. Was just Mike was going to yell Kazam, and we were going to go to the story. Ba-boom. That's how it works. So, yeah. So, win the star of Kazam, because that's what he's known for, right?
That's his primary.
Shaquille O'Neal, actor and rapper. He dabbled in sports at one point. Anyway, so Shaq, was happened to be in the store, overheard what was going on, and handed his credit card over and asked to pay for the engagement ring. Would you guys do that?
I feel like that's a bit of an invasion. I know it's a super nice thing to do, and they probably were really appreciative. But in my head, trying to do something like that, all I would think of is I'm taking away this guy's, ability to give a gift.
Yeah.
And I'm taking away that joy of all of that stuff. Also, they just happen to be looking at this one. They haven't decided, I'll buy it for you. You're done. The decision's over. You've got this one now. You may not wanted it. Who knows? But
your engagement story now is made it to the morning laugh. I mean, what's the price you pay for that, Mike?
That's true. No, that's true. Very true.
So if you were buying a ring and Shaq came up and said, no, I'll buy it. Don't you think she would be like, well, no, I wanted this one,
Right. Yeah.
Hold the phone,
Yeah, I actually agree with Mike. I would say the same thing, only because it's such a big. I mean, I guess the whole idea of a ring is really a sales pitch anyway. But saying, "Hey, I'm going to spend the money on it," that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So when you don't do it,
what do they say? What's the jeweler thing? It's 3 months salary or whatever is what you're supposed to pay.
Right.
But here's the funny, like for Shaq, was like, oh man, that's like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I can make that in 15 minutes. That's cool. And then boom, you got.
Why is Shaq Elvis?
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a little Elvis-y. I love it, but it is.
I would love to hear your guys' impressions. Go.
Here's your engagement ring. That's mine.
No, this is Shaq's impression. I think I'm gonna get spot on.
Yeah.
As he gets older, he just stops trying to enunciate.
That impression made me hungry. Like, what are you eating? I want some of that. I assume you were eating some kind of beef or barbecue.
Barbecue. Remember, I'm going to drive something on my chin.
Like, I heard the meat and the sauce when he was doing it. No, it's your mom.
That's how he talks. I was just watching him in the middle of a basketball game. He was doing halftime, and he started off by saying, "Yeah," and then the rest of it, I didn't understand.
You believe he said "yeah"? What? So you won't be falling asleep to any Shaq tapes. No.
Just picture in the middle of a basketball game. He comes out in center court. Yeah, I got sauce on my chin.
That's right.
So you're basically, I think what we've said now is Shaq is the equivalent of a Muppet sleeping. So
phenomena.
Well, good for Shaq. Best of luck to that couple.
Well, I am saddened a little bit. I mean, this isn't. I gotta be careful how I say this because we have a range of ages watching this. But Eddie Murphy turned old. 60.
Eddie Murphy, that's amazing. 60 years old.
Here's how he looks, by the way.
60 years old. It's so funny because I always thought I knew he was close to my age, but apparently not as close as I thought. Because I am not 60.
9 years old.
Well, you guys are gonna hate me for saying this, but when I
who's Eddie Murphy?
Is
No, of course I know who Eddie Murphy is. I love him.
So here's what I love. Before you say anything, Chris, I love
Okay.
it when people like your age or younger, they're like Eddie Murphy, and they go, and I go Donkey from Shrek, and they go, oh yeah.
Well,
No, they don't.
There's probably a chance I would have been like that if I didn't always study comedy. So it's like
Right.
I love all of his stand-up, specials, and read a lot of his stuff and seen a lot of his movies. But here's what I immediately thought, and I know this is I guess this is just such a 30-year-old thing to say. When I read that and it said he turned 60, I thought the dude was turning 80. I thought he was way older than he is. I was like, whoa, he's young. That was literally my thought.
Okay,
Oh.
Eddie Murphy for 60 looks amazing though. He looks like he's late 40s,
So
early 50s easily.
have you guys watched? First of all, did you watch the original Coming to America, and have you watched Coming to America again?
I did when it came out, the original. It's
Mhm.
been a few years since I've seen it. Have not yet watched the new sequel.
Yeah, same.
I powered through the first third of the new one, and I don't think I will continue watching it.
Really? Is it not funny? Is it lame? Why?
It's the same as the first one, but with a lot more money, a lot bigger budget.
Oh,
And it's really just a showcase to have people come out and act silly on the screen.
I think what's fascinating, and a lot of people don't know, or maybe they do know, is that the original film was tied up in litigation because of the script, because somebody else claimed to have written that script. And so it was basically, that movie has not really made any money for anybody.
That's quite a risk, because had that plaintiff not succeeded in that litigation, he would have forever been known as the guy that wrote that script, which is he's probably never had work since then, because that is the worst script ever.
Well, you know what's crazy? Wait, the original or the second one?
The original. It's just a ridiculously dumb movie.
Oh, so you didn't even like the first one?
No,
Mike James does not hold all the opinions of everyone on this show.
I love Eddie Murphy, and I like most of his stuff. All the roles he's done in the movies and stuff. But that one was it just seemed like just a showcase to get friends and other people out to just be dumb on screen. It was really ridiculous.
Really, I love the movie. Well, I'm a pretty big
but Chris,
Hall
you're
fan
an
as well.
idiot.
What?
I'm kidding.
Oh
man.
Mike, take it easy. Chris is in the business.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to give the business to a guy in the business.
That's it, Mike. You're not working in this town again. I've always wanted to say that to somebody.
I apologize, Chris, if OfferPad has anything else for me, I'll play the neighbor.
Yeah, you're gonna see this much of Mike's head.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. The neighbor from Home Improvement.
That'll teach you. Well, I'll tell you what, HBO has been running like a ton of Eddie Murphy movies right now, and I couldn't figure out why. And then when I saw the thing about him turning 60, I thought, oh, this makes sense. Bowfinger's been on. He was so much fun in Bowfinger. It's been a while since he was like, see, that's just it. Like Eddie Murphy, I think early on was so electric in a lot of the films that he did do, because it was kind of like all new to us. And then after a while, that gap where he kind of disappeared for a little while, and then he came back doing the kids stuff. But when he did Bowfinger, that was the first time back to like a mainstream movie without him being the lead. Sometimes I think those guys need to just be a secondary character and just add that, influx of humor that it needs. Because Bowfinger, man, he's so funny in that movie.
Oh yeah.
And Beverly Hills Cop, the first one, I was watching that the other night, and that was pretty good. But man, part 3, not good. There's literally a gun that sings, that plays a Jerry Lewis song while he's shooting people.
I think he was patterning. He was trying to pattern his movies like Godfather.
Oh, yeah.
Part 3, not so good. Part 2, that was the one.
I do understand that they are looking at Netflix. He's supposed to be doing Beverly Hills Cop 4 on Netflix.
Well, it's interesting because he keeps teasing that he's going to get back out there and do stand up.
Yeah.
Although he's been saying it for 5 years, literally.
Yeah.
But you know what he also said? He said that if he is going to do it, that he's going to be hitting up a lot of small clubs in order to do that.
Sure. That's
So, I
what you
mean,
have to do.
Well, he has to. He's at an unfortunate point now where he's so well known. You can't say you're going to go to a big club. It's going to get over, and you don't want to be, as a comic, you don't want to be overrun with people coming to see you practice.
Yeah.
Right.
So
you'd have to show up in the middle of a show, like how they do over at the Comedy Cellar or something.
Yeah.
Just show up last second and kind of get up. You'd have to.
So every comic out there watching and listening, prepare to get bumped.
That reminds me of Steve Martin. Also had at one point, he didn't say he was going to go back out and do stand up, but he had mentioned that he'd been approached many times by other comics and friends, and he'd considered it. And he and I think it was Seinfeld, there was an interview where it sounded the way I picked it, maybe he'll do this.
Comedian in Cars, he asked him, and he's like, I've written a couple things or whatever. And I think he did. He went and he opened for Jerry at something shortly after that. And then, but you know what? Steve Martin did the right thing with like taking like his, he's got the banjo albums, which, by the way, if you haven't listened to his albums, are great. If you like bluegrass and that kind of stuff. But he's mixed that in, and then he started doing that, some comedy with that. And then, he started doing the shows with Martin Short on the road, which is kind of a mix of comedy and music and stuff like that. So it's been fun to watch.
Well, and also you guys have all read his book, Born Standing Up, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's like one of the best stand-up books ever. But you know, he kind of goes into the whole idea of him retiring and from stand-up and wanting to just remain retired from stand-up. And I think that's the smartest idea.
Yeah.
Was interesting for me is I read that book, and then sometime later I listened to the audio tape of it, and he's the one that narrates it, and it's like a different book almost, listening to him tell the stories. It's the same stuff. It just, for some reason, listening to him tell it made a big difference.
What's interesting is, he talks about working at Knott's Berry Farm, or Knott's Berry Farm, depending on how you say it. He talks about the birdcage there, working there. And shortly after that, I think it was a few months later, I was actually at Knott's Berry Farm. And his picture's on the wall there, autographed. Good luck for all those who have come through this door. I wish you could, good luck and everything else. It's on the outside. It's very cool to actually see that bit of history, just this guy.
I think it's pronounced Knott's Berry Farm.
I believe it's pronounced Don Knott's Berry Farm.
Oh.
I like that reference. That's older than
that. Was good. You know what? I'm going to give you 12 points for that.
Wait, I want to say something.
Our game coming up later.
We skipped over it. I just want to say something because you were mentioning the movie. Oh man, what the heck? Bowfinger.
Bowfinger.
Okay, Bowfinger. Anytime somebody asks me my favorite comedy, I need to say that one because that was the only movie I've ever laughed so hard at that it was blurry because I couldn't stop crying laughing.
Really?
The whole movie for me was blurry because it's the funniest movie I've ever seen.
There's a lot in that movie.
There's just so much when Eddie Murphy has to run across the traffic. It's just the idea of it right now. I could just lose it. It's the funniest movie.
And just the screaming is great.
Yeah.
Well,
oh, God.
Well, we're gonna jump from the old titans of comedy to the new titans of the cinema right now. Godzilla versus King Kong or Kong.
Yeah, apparently 12 out of the 17 people that went to the movie theater this week saw Godzilla versus Kong.
It's an amazing documentary of these two titans who it's the biggest thing I think since Hagler Hearns. Am I putting first of all, did either of you see it?
I started watching it and right away realized, I've missed a lot of backstory. So I had to go back to watch other movies. This is not a movie you can just sit and watch if you haven't seen the other movies. There's just a lot of reference to and
true to some degree.
Right? What are you talking about?
I don't think it needed like previously on Godzilla, and then we see all the backstory.
There's a lot of like foundational stuff. Like they're talking about the Titans and all this. I'm thinking, what are you talking about?
True, and there is
always just King Kong.
The screenwriters did do a full arc to make this movie happen. It was planned, years ahead of time. So
Yeah.
so yeah, you need to see Skull Island. You need to see the Godzilla film, and then Godzilla King of Monsters, King of the
Yeah.
Monsters, King of all monsters, King of Monsters.
So
And
this
then
is the
this one.
fourth one in a series of movies.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I really like Skull Island. I fully enjoyed, so I was really excited about Godzilla versus Kong. My sister said we must go see this in the theater, so our family made a pilgrimage because we are Japanese, and it's apparently hereditary. We're supposed to see Godzilla films in the theater, so that's why we went, and it was worth every dime to watch it on the big screen. Yeah,
And I'll tell you this, Chris.
fun. It was so fun.
You thought Bowfinger was funny. Wait till you watch this one. This one is funnier than I would dare to say Norbit.
Yes, when King Kong has to cross the ocean, it's hilarious.
Well, do you guys have HBO Max? Because
Yes.
Okay, cool. I do too. So I've already been thinking of watching it. The only problem is the only Godzilla movie I've ever enjoyed was what, Godzilla 2001, the one
The
Godzilla
Matthew
movie
Broderick
that
one?
bombed.
Wasn't
Wasn't it called 2001? Godzilla
Maybe.
2000, and it bombed.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
remember.
like my favorite Godzilla movie. All the other ones, I'm like, I don't get it.
But you're talking now. I don't want to get nerdy real quick, but you're talking Matthew Broderick one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because there is a Godzilla 2000, which was a Japanese made Toho one. Anyway,
My favorite Godzilla movies, and the only ones I had seen until this one, was black and white claymation, and they were awesome.
Really?
Yeah. Rubber
I
suits.
loved them. They were, as a kid, I watching these old Godzilla monster movies and King Kong. They were so cool. They had Mechzilla and Mothmanzilla or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but
Yeah, Mothmanzilla, the one with Richard Gere.
yeah.
Mothman Prophecies gets
What's the name of that monster? Moth something.
Mothra.
Mothra, yeah. So I don't know, but those movies were great to watch. They were so fun.
What's great is that so Godzilla versus Kong like did 50 million or something in the theater the day it opened. So people right now are just wanting to get out. And this movie is great because there's not a whole lot of thinking going on unless you really want to go, could this happen?
Yeah.
Anyway, but I don't know. It is what it is. It's just eye candy to watch.
Yeah, it's just enjoyable. Well, then I think I will. The one thing I wanted to say to that, because you were saying, people are just trying to get out now. Los Angeles opened up their AMC theater 2 weeks ago. When it opened, it was sold out. It was packed. There was a line all the way around because, especially in LA, they've been in lockdown forever. So when they finally were allowed to go to something, they were like, boom, we're here, which I feel like is just going to probably freak them out more because that's what they were trying to do.
There's been a lot of talk about how actually that this film has like caused a little surgence of people bringing back the theater experience again, just because people want to get out. Because the theaters, we all know. I mean, HBO Max again, you could watch it at home if you want.
Yeah.
I watched it, came home, and I watched a couple scenes again when I got home because I did. I could. I'm not bragging. I have HBO Max, but I don't know. Which so in saying that, Mike, you said you watched the black and white when you were a kid, and obviously Godzilla was like a rubber suit. But the original Godzilla, the 1933, that was on the other night. I was watching part of it. They used to terrify me when I was a little kid. But remember, it was all that stop frame animation, it's like all mixed with the thing. And it was so, watching it now, I'm like, obviously it's fake, but it's so well done for 1933. Mm-hmm. It's crazy good.
Yeah.
Wow.
And just fun to watch.
I'll have to watch him.
I'm such a kid right now. So I have to tell you, this is funny. Speaking of being a kid and Godzilla, do you remember when they used to play the thing, Mike? Chris, maybe not so much, but they used to do the high pitch me for the emergency broadcast system.
Yes.
And they'd always say, if this were an actual test, you would be, and I would always go, what in the world would they be talking about? Because living in Arizona, there's no typhoon coming or anything else. The only thing I could think of was Godzilla attack. That's what this is for, right? That's the only thing I could put my little like 5-6-year-old brain to is like, you hear this, something's going down. It's probably Godzilla. And the only in my mind, all I could picture was Godzilla destroying the McDonald's that I knew in my hometown. And I thought, wow, every time I hear that noise, I would think, this is it. and then I would think I would look outside and see Godzilla. Not true. Not happening.
Well,
You know what is true?
Glad it's a hit.
You know what's true?
What?
Apparently UFOs.
It is.
How'd you like that segue?
So here's the thing. Many past officials, especially from the Air Force, but also Navy and some of the other armed forces and others have now come out to say, no, we had many encounters with UFOs, never like a creature or a living thing or anything, but just a lot of spacecraft they can't explain. And I just think it's interesting because it's just in the last few months, it's been more and more of those coming out. So I got a picture of one here that I found, which I think is pretty authentic.
Yeah.
Mike's showing a old black and white picture of a extremely tall 9-foot woman.
Yeah.
You can barely see the string holding that thing up. And I think that looks pretty good.
There's a series of paper plates put together with, I believe it's nickels in between, holding it up.
That girl is haunting.
Yeah.
That woman is haunting. I don't even care about the UFO. I can't stop looking at this creepy woman.
I was trying to find an old picture of a UFO and I saw that, but then when I looked at it more, that's really creepy. Okay, I'll go with that one.
Yeah, if you're listening
like this,
if you're listening to the podcast right now, go find the video of this that we're talking about. 35 minutes into the show, and you'll be horrified.
Well, okay. Previously to this whole article about, because I could talk for hours on this.
Previously of this article.
Do you guys believe in aliens remotely?
I have no experience one way or the other, so I can't really answer that question. I don't believe or disbelieve in them. I think that's possible. Okay. And I think my faith allows me to say there's nothing that prevents that from being the truth. But I don't necessarily. People always like to say, well, it's really arrogant to think we're the only ones. But the way I believe and what my faith leads me to believe is, no, that's not arrogant. It was an intentional act by God to create us. So it's not arrogant. Also, statistically speaking, it would be it almost requires that there be other beings out there purely on statistics, but also it's an infinite remote possibility. In other words, it's infinitely small possibility.
Right.
But because you're talking about infinite, that means it has to be. So it's kind of weird.
Wow. And so I'm confused then.
Yeah. If I could piggyback on that, and I think this will answer it for everybody.
Please do.
Yes, I believe in unidentified flying objects. I believe that they are unidentified. Yeah. I believe that they are possibly flying, and they are some kind of objects. Gotcha. I recall in high school, I got hit in the back of the head, and I don't know how it hit me in the head, what it was. I just remember getting hit in the head by something. It was unidentified, it was flying, and it was an object.
Yeah.
Well,
could be anything.
Well,
have you guys ever seen something unidentified flying?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
everything I see that flies through the air, I have not identified.
Yeah.
Here's a great story. I remember driving one night. This is 1988. I'm driving and I see in the sky. Now I live in Arizona where the lights, the famous lights, right? And this is before that. I was driving and I saw this giant orange thing in the sky. And I was driving home and I'm like, what in the world is that? So as soon as I got home, I got binoculars. I stood up on the diving board and I looked and I thought this thing is like a cylinder kind of. And I look and at first glance, at a half a second glance, I felt like something was looking back at me. And then when my eyes really focused on what it was, I don't know if you guys remember this, but the soda Slice had just been introduced and they had a blimp that was completely orange. And the eye was a big eye. It looked like a person for a second. And then I went, you're an idiot, Brian. So boom, identified flying object. IFO right there, my friend.
Well,
so it's like I think everyone wants to believe to some degree.
Well, I agree more with you, Brian, that I think that there's enough confirmations that there are unidentified flying objects, but it doesn't necessarily mean, like for our society, we immediately make the case that it's an alien or whatever from another planet. But we don't know. My theory is that they're actually time travelers from the early 300,000 year or whatever, and like 3010, and they're just that's the machines that they use to come back. We don't know, but I will say this: because this freaked me out when I moved to Phoenix. I had never heard of Phoenix Lights until I moved to Phoenix. Then, like 2 years ago, the mayor of Phoenix at the time, now he's obviously since retired, he said that he made this big statement like 2 years ago. He said, listen, when I was the mayor, I had to tell everybody, I was told to tell everybody by the government that it was just a routine thing and everything's fine. He goes, now that I'm retired, I can tell you the government had no idea what it is. We still to this day have no idea what it is. And I believe in aliens. That's what the mayor said.
Well, every day I just wait to see what's going to happen, and you don't know what kind of emergency or whatever.
This is a test.
Oh no!
This station is conducting
Godzilla's coming.
emergency broadcasting system.
I mean, you never know.
Now, so when I was a kid and Close Encounters of the Third Kind came out, there was a ton of UFO magazines that came out. Like the stores were full of them because everybody was on this alien craze back then. But a lot of the stories too would deal with like alien ships landing and these like Bigfoot Sasquatches coming off the ships. So then that got me like anytime I was up north, I thought, oh man, if I see if I see a Sasquatch, I might actually be seeing an alien at the same time. And then of course the world famous $6 Million Man episode with a Sasquatch came out too. And then my mind was just blown at that point. Look out,
So I want to make sure we move forward to your game, Brian. You have something for us, and we do have a game. Out of time.
640. You're right, Mike. Let's move on to the game. So HBO Max, check out Kong versus Godzilla, all that good stuff. Yes, I have a game that I have created just for you guys. Right. Okay. So Josh isn't here, and the questions I had for Josh, I will still give to you guys. So we'll still participate because I think
Josh is in the bathroom, I believe.
Josh should be getting out of the bathroom momentarily, guys.
Yeah, I could hear him in the background. It sounds like he's winding up the bathroom trip.
Okay. So all right. So this is a game I like to call the hot seat.
Wait a second. There's no fanfare. There's no intro music, no logo, anything.
All right, here's the deal. I'm going to do it as Regis Philbin, and you're going to see the lights go. Okay, ready? All right, guys, are you ready? It's time to play the hot seat. Okay.
Oh, I do like that. Okay.
All right.
That was good. I love that. Yeah.
So the purpose of this game is to kind of let everybody kind of know a little bit about you guys. A little bit about you guys. Not a whole lot. I'm not, no secrets are being exposed here, but a little bit about you guys. Now, you guys know me. You know me. I have a love for television history. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so we're going to combine my love along with some information about you guys. Okay. So who wants to be, let's put Chris in the hot seat first. All right, Chris, you're in the hot seat. How you doing, Chris? Now, Chris, we know you to be a fine, outstanding citizen to this world. We also know you to be the redhead of our group, right? Because every group has their own thing. And if this were the Big Bang Theory, I would be Kutrapali. Anyway, so Chris, you being a comedian and having red hair, Chris, we're going to put you in the hot seat right now. I want you to name 3 comedians with red hair.
Okay.
And you get extra points if you can name comedians that actually have the word red in their name. All right. 3 comedians, red hair, extra points for those that have the word red in their name.
Okay. Can I go?
Go.
Bill Burr.
When he had hair, correct.
Okay. Louis C.K.
Correct.
And Red Fox.
Red Fox, correct. And I think he gets an extra point for having the word red in it. Very good. Congratulations, Chris. Very well done.
Thank you.
Very well done. The Bill Burr one, that's a good one. That's a throwback.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, you're not in the hot seat yet, but Mike, can you name anybody else, comedians
with red hair
and or the word red in it?
Conan O'Brien.
Correct.
Colin Quinn. Does he have red hair? No, I guess it's not red.
That's a stretch.
I was trying to think of Irish comedians. I don't know. I don't think I can think of any.
Okay. Chris Rossetti had a couple of good ones.
Oh, yeah. Who's he got?
He's got Carrot Top.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Lucy, Conan O'Brien.
Very good.
Bob Smiley.
Bob Smiley. Yes,
Does Bob Smiley have red hair?
Yeah.
sure. Legally,
Yeah.
yeah.
Legally.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yes. Matt Santos with Skelton, Red Skelton. Absolutely, Red Skelton.
That's a good one.
I thought you said that one already.
No, we Red Fox.
Red buttons.
Red Buttons.
Does
Yep.
Red Fox even have red hair?
When he was
Okay.
younger. Yeah.
Okay.
Carrot Top. The only on my list too, and this is a stretch. Danny Bonaducci. Meh. But
I'm a
Danny
comedian.
K. Danny K.
Oh yeah.
Danny K. That's a good one.
Mhm.
All right. Very good. All right. Mike James.
All right,
You're in the
you're
hot seat. All right, Mike. I know this is gonna be a little easy for you right now because I know your love of this right now. Mike James, child prodigy of the 60s and 70s. No, he's not. But anyways, you're a boomer, right? So this was a popular thing back in the day, not so much today. Mike, can you name me 3 television shows that revolve around music or singers?
Partridge Family,
Mm-hmm.
the Brady Bunch for a season or two.
Sure, we'll allow it. The Silver Platters. Yes, they were the Silver Platters.
The Sonny and Cher show.
Sonny and Cher.
Uh,
Okay.
Donnie and Marie,
Sure.
Captain and Tennille. They all had TV shows about them.
Mm-hmm.
Lawrence Welk. I guess that
Lawrence-
wasn't about that.
Lawrence
They had a
Welk.
lot of
It's
that on
not
there.
technically a show about, sure, but
Yeah. The Monkeys.
the Monkeys, very good.
You know what? The what was the name of that other one? The Banana Splits.
The Banana Splits.
You didn't expect that, did you?
Did not even on my list. Banana Splits. Chris, are you familiar with the Banana Splits?
Nope. Mm-mm.
I don't
Not
know.
worth, not worth talking about.
Those are the ones off the top of my head.
Like if monkeys, if the Banana Splits are like if Muppets were genetically crossed with humans.
It's
Anyway.
if HR Puffin stuff had more than just a flute in it for instruments.
Correct.
It would have been the Banana Splits.
All right, Chris, can you name any that have not been named?
Glee.
Correct. Good. Mike
I
missed
don't
Glee.
know what that is.
Glee?
I don't. What is it?
I don't know Glee.
Glee, the show, the acapella kids singing
I've never seen
not
that.
even acapella, but
When
the
was
kids-
that?
It was hugely
That came
popular.
out when I was in high school.
It was huge. It was a
Oh, like a
huge,
couple years ago. How would I know that?
yeah.
I mean, it was a massive hit at the time.
All right.
Chris,
Well, it
Chris,
wasn't
do you
as
have
big a
any-
hit as the Monkeys. I'll tell you that.
Chris, do you have any more?
Yeah, Jonas Brothers. They had a TV show on Disney Channel. So
Ugh.
this is clearly
Yeah.
aging me. Hannah Montana. Let's do that one.
That's very good.
And the Banana Split.
And the banana, the Banana Split.
Sorry,
It's,
the banana.
it's a solo album.
That's when the band split
Big
up. There was
Yeah.
Bingo
It was a
Bongo
spin-off.
Bango.
But yeah,
Very good. The only other shows that were missed, I think, technically Happy Days did have a band. Remember Richie and the Boys? They never really had a name for the band. That was a running joke. And then the only other one I could come up with was, of course, Flight of the Conchords.
Mhm.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's kind of one.
That's good.
Yeah, everyone else has pretty much chimed in with the other ones. Now, this one, let's see, we're going to go, let's see. So let's go back to Chris now. Chris, you are in the hot seat. It really doesn't need music. Anyways,
It does.
Okay.
By the way, if I tell you the name of a singer, Johnny Bravo, who does that remind you of, Chris? Who is Johnny Bravo?
Well, Johnny Bravo is from Cartoon Network.
Well, that's way later. This was before that.
Oh,
It was
then
a
I don't
singer
know.
named Johnny Bravo, played by Greg
Johnny.
Brady, played by the actor for Greg Brady. It was Brady Bunch. Johnny Bravo was his.
yep.
They wanted him to split off the rest of the family because Peter's voice was changing. Because when it's time to change,
I think you're missing a valid point to that whole thing, Mike, is that he fit the outfit.
Oh, that's right.
The outfit Greg fit into. So that's
Yeah.
why he became Johnny Bravo.
That's right.
All right, Chris, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Chris, I know you love late night television. You even
Love it.
have your own show that you have on separately on another network.
Yeah.
Anyway, so no Jacks, no Jimmies, and no Johnnies. Can you
Okay.
name me at least 3 failed late night talk shows?
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Well, Arsenio Hall, you could say he failed if you use the newer version of it.
Well, is he currently on? Then it's failed. So you're good.
Yeah. Which I love his older show. You go with oh gosh, she was just in my head because I was just talking about her yesterday. I love her stand-up, her older stand-up. She passed away. She was on The Apprentice. Somebody help me out. What's her name?
Joan Rivers.
Oh gosh. Come
Joan
on.
Rivers.
I think I have one of her records over here.
Joan Rivers.
Joan Rivers.
We'll
Joan
give
Rivers.
you Joan Rivers.
Failed.
Okay.
Greg.
Greg.
He was, what?
Johnny Bravo.
Just a guy named Greg.
Yeah, Johnny Bravo. No.
Greg Brady.
Greg I can never pronounce his last name. Current? Greg Kieran?
I don't know.
Greg Kinnear.
Greg Kinnear.
Correct.
He had
a
fun fact about him. He was a late night host until he realized how much work it was, and then he quit. He said it was too much work.
I like Greg Kinnear. I didn't know he had a talk show.
He did. No. You can watch a couple episodes.
Huh.
He had a great show. It was originally Late Night with Bob Costas, and then Kinnear took over, and it was brilliant. By the way, that reminds me, you can continue on. I will not accept Carson Daly as an answer at all.
Why?
Because he's not real. Anyway, yes, we have a few other people chiming in. Mike, do not look though. Mike, I want to see what do you got for me?
For those
late night shows.
Say, Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, that was daytime. That was daytime talk.
I don't think she had late
night.
Night.
Did you say late night only?
Late night, yep.
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase, correct.
My favorite failed one.
One of the worst ones ever.
Yeah. Dana Carvey's thing, that wasn't a talk show, was it?
No.
Okay. That was a failed one. The Tonight Show, that never really took off. I don't know. I can't think of any others.
Mike's struggling a bit. Let's help him out, guys.
Wait. The Tiger King, didn't he try one and it never happened?
Well, technically, no. We got Matt Santos, correct. Dennis Miller, one of my favorite ones of all time.
Oh, Dennis Miller.
Regis actually was co-host of what's his name from the Rat Pack? Burp, burp, burp. What's his name? Joey Bishop, sideman.
Really?
Yep. Chris. Pat Sajak, very good.
That's right.
Barb had Pat Sajak also. Barb also had the Teletubbies.
Yeah.
Maybe that was an answer to another question earlier. I don't know. On my list here, Zach Galifianakis had a weird talk show.
He did.
Much like the Between Two Ferns. Years. Yeah. George Lopez, remember that?
Oh yeah.
Alan Thick of the Night. Remember that one? Alan Thick of the Night. Canada's answer. Ooh, how about this one? Magic Johnson's Magic Hour.
I didn't. What is that?
Magic
true?
Johnson had a talk show for about a year-ish, maybe.
I would watch it.
I forgot about Pat Sajak. Yeah.
Alan Thicke's the real odd one to me. Chevy Chase was horrible, but Jon Stewart, of course, had the Jon Stewart show, and Craig Kilborn. Mm-hmm. Remember Kilborn File?
Yeah.
Oh, Craig Kilborn had. I mean, some of these you could say like Carson Daly. You can't say he's failed because he was on the air forever. Yeah. And some of these others,
I will not accept it as an
even
answer.
Arsenio Hall. You know, I guess he's failed in that it got canceled. It's not like he quit or he ran the circuit, but at the same time, he was on the air for a few years, right?
6 years. But
no, he did fine.
He tried to remake it.
Even Dennis Miller, his talk show didn't work, but Dennis Miller's so great.
I was watching a lot of old Miller.
Macdonald.
Who?
Norm Macdonald
had a talk show.
Yeah, he still has. He's had like 40 of them.
Sure, but not. I'm talking. Well, you guys answered all correctly. We're talking about the ones who went head to head against the
network, late night network TV stuff. Yeah,
back in the day, because millions of people have had talk shows, but
we have one right now.
Yeah, that's how easy it is now, kids. All right, real quick, we're gonna do a real quick round here. Mike, you're in the hot seat.
Okay,
Mike. All right, this was a question originally for Josh. You and Josh both former military vets. Thank you for your service. And with that, I would like to ask you, Mike, can you name me three television shows that have centered around the military?
F Troop.
not CIA, none of that related, but the 4 major branches.
F Troop,
branches, military.
Hogan's Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that one. Petticoat Junction, not Petticoat Junction. What's the one with the? What was the one? God, what was it? Oh, it's killing me. I got to know this one now. It had Candice Bergen in it. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I think you're on the wrong track, but you're on the right track. Are you talking about Goldie Hawn?
No. Candice Bergen was in one. Somebody look that up. Candice Bergen. MASH is another one.
MASH, very good.
So that's 3, I guess. But I gotta look this up now.
That's 3. You've got it. Are you think? Oh, hold on before we go any further. Chris.
Yeah.
Military shows.
Yeah. Here's an obvious one. G.I. Joe.
Okay. Well, cartoon route. Okay, fine. Anything else?
No, that's all I know.
That's all you know. Major Dad. Remember Major Dad?
Oh, kind of, yeah.
Marine. Gomer Pyle, USMC.
Yeah.
One of our least. I don't know. Did that do well for the military back then? It's kind of interesting. Jag was a huge show.
That was the one about the Navy legal
guys. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Band of Brothers, the famous HBO series, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Private Benjamin. Is that what you're thinking, Mike? Private Benjamin?
No, that was a movie, not a TV show.
It was a TV show too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Can't question me on my own talk show. This is my game right now, Mike. You're ruining
I apologize. You're right.
I will give you the A team, even though technically they were never out because they escaped. You know what I'm saying? It's a technicality. Yes, Barb Thompson, Army Wives. Very good. Very good.
I haven't seen that actually. Not bad.
By the way, this one I love so much. Chris, I Dream of Jeannie. Yes, yes, and yes, a million times over.
Yeah.
You get the Air Force, and Major Healy was Army, correct? Anybody want to back me up on that?
Was he really?
Yeah, because that was a technicality. Read up on it a little bit. There were very few liaisons from the Army too. Remember, his uniform was brown.
Oh.
That means Army. I don't know. Tom, you've got Philco. Yeah.
Did anybody say McHale's Navy?
Phil Silvers. Nobody said. Nobody did say McHale's Navy. I think Tom's trying to write it, unless McCall's is something else I'm not thinking, but I believe McHale's Navy on that one. Michelle, they're military. They were retired military technically, and Magnum PI. A team. Yep. So cool. Oh yes. Yep. Army Wives. Like I pointed out, Barb, very good. All right. Cool. All right. Do we have time? We're gonna rush real quick. Chris,
Okay.
Are you ready? Last
I'm
one.
ready.
Chris, let's see. Again, this was the question originally for Josh, and this is going to be very difficult for you. Okay.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. Josh, our very own beloved in the bathroom, Josh Novey, likes
CPO
to go by the fat veteran at times, right? That's his. He said it, not me. Okay. So, can you name me 3 comedians and or fictional or real characters that go by the name Fat something?
Okay, so Fat Albert is going to be the first one.
Mm-hmm.
They go by Fat. That's probably it. Fatty.
We're running out of time. Mike, would you like to help him?
That's Domino.
That's Domino, correct?
Let's see. Fat Albert, Fat's Domino. Fatty 2x4. No.
I'm going to chime in now. We're gonna Fatty Arbuckle.
I don't know that one.
Fatty Arbuckle. Look him up. Fat Amy from the Pitch Perfect movies.
Okay, Fat Amy. I'll accept it.
Famous Chinese actor Chow Yun Fat.
That's a different spelling.
Fat Lever. Basketball fans, where you at?
But I don't know any of these.
Minnesota Fats.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Minnesota Fats, yeah.
Fat Waller. There's one. Thank you, Chris. Anybody else? Last going once.
Shoot. George Wendt. No.
And of course George Wendt. And we'll end it on that. All right. So we're running out of time, guys. What do we have coming up? Show-wise.
Coming up, we have
Collectively, all of us will be doing Mother's Day at Stir Crazy Comedy Club here in Arizona.
Yes.
Mike, you're on the road, I believe, soon.
I am. I'm going to be in Cheyenne, Wyoming on the 17th.
And then you'll be with me in Prescott on May 8th.
That's right.
With Matt Santos, who I believe is watching.
Yeah.
What else? Chris, you got anything coming up?
I'll be in Kansas on the 25th, and that's it. That's all I
So
got right
if you
now.
guys want to come out and see us, if you're in the Phoenix area and you want to come out and see us for Mother's Day, we do this every year. It's a really, really fun show. It's for the whole family. You guys will love it. We're also doing Father's Day, another tradition we have. So just go to our website to check it out. Father's Day is also obviously friendly for the whole family, but it'll be much more geared to adults, just in the humor and stuff. So, but come out and see us. Those would be great.
Yep.
And the tickets are only $3,000 a person. So
Right.
if you can, it's
A
so
small
cheap.
price to pay for this free content you've been watching.
Yeah.
And it holds at least 6 people. So we just need 6 people at $3,000.
Yeah.
And as things are truly opening up, clubs are filling up a little bit better. All this stuff's happening. So keep an eye out for more and more shows coming up soon. So anyway, that's
so cool.
That's it.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. You guys, thank you for watching and listening, and tell your friends and come see us. See us at shows. Come see and go watch all the other shows and all that good stuff. All right, that's it for the show today, guys. We will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Good morning.
Bye, guys.